What's going on, you guys? Paul here with Paul's Performance, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we kind of have a special one, especially for the TDI folks out there. We have an Audi Q5 with a TDI in it. Yeah, I know it's not something you see every day. It's very cool. So this car right here, this is a car that my mom bought not too long ago. So I've kind of infiltrated the entire family over into the TDI line. So like I said, she ended up buying this. This is Q5 6-cylinder TDI, 240 horsepower. I think it's the engine code CPNB. It's not the same one as my fiance's Touareg. It's a little different, but it's still a 3.0 TDI. This one does feel like it has, it feels faster than the Touareg. I feel like the Touareg has more torque to it. It's a bigger car. But this one does feel quicker, which I would expect, being it's an Audi performance, all that crap. I mean, basically all Audi is just a nice Volkswagen. So I would expect it to be a little faster, and obviously the interior and everything else is nice. So anyway, I figured while I had it here, I'm gonna be doing just a regular maintenance on it, fuel filters and changing the oil. I wanted to show you guys what all was entailed in this. Like I said, just kind of show you guys the car, because it is a very cool car, and I know I don't see a whole lot of them, and I'm sure any TDI guys out there that's been watching me with your Jettas and all the stuff like I have, you're like, wow, I didn't even know they made that. So like I said, you may be interested in finding one, because it is a very cool car. They also have a Q7 TDI as well, which is the equivalent of the Touareg. It's a little bit bigger, but my mom, she likes a small SUV, so she got this. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing mounted on the lift, and we're gonna go ahead and do this oil and fuel filter. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that, and like I said, I'll give you a little walk around of the car. That way you guys can see it too. I figured this would be a kind of a cool car to kind of show off to the rest of you TDI enthusiasts out there. So let me get this mounted and we'll move on. Alrighty guys, so just a quick look. We have the under hood. I mean, that is absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, V6 TDI. Absolutely super clean underneath the hood. We have just a tiny little car here. Roof racks. Now let's go to the inside. Okay, and as for the inside, she has all the gray leather. It has a touchscreen dash radio in it. Just a good looking car, Q5. Still has the TDI label on the back. Full moon roof. Alrighty guys, so first we're gonna start under the hood. I always like to loosen up my oil cap. I like to leave it in just to prevent stuff from falling down in there, but I like to take it off. That way it creates a good vent for when we're draining the oil. I'm gonna set that down just for a second though, and we're gonna pop this cover off here. It's absolutely gorgeous engine cover. So we don't wanna damage this, but it pops off just like all of our other Volkswagen covers. So we got that popped off here. And if you look right here, this right here is going to be your oil filter up top, super easy to get to. So we're just going to go ahead and take this off. It doesn't really matter when you do it, but like I said, it'll help drain it out if you just go ahead and do it. Anyways, you're going to get your socket. This socket right here is a 1 1/4. It fits it perfectly, or you could get the specific socket for this. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head which metric size that is. If you know, you can comment it in the description, but this is a 1 1/4 socket that I use for all of most of the Volkswagens, and it fits and works just fine. So we're gonna go ahead and break this loose. We got that out, and we're gonna just kind of leave it sitting in there like so. We got our cap loose here, and now we're gonna go up and we're gonna drain the oil, and then like I said, hopefully by the time we come back, this filter will kind of be drained out and a little bit drier. That way we can change that without making an absolute mess. So now, underneath. Alrighty guys, so we got the car up in the air. Now we're gonna have to remove covers from the underside. This car has covers pretty much covering just about the entire underside of this. So we're gonna have to remove those. They're not hard to remove, but I'm gonna take you over here. I'm gonna show you which covers I'm about to remove, and then I'm gonna throw them off and show you what it looks like once the covers are removed as far as what we're going to next. So let me show you what it looks like. Alrighty guys, so the first cover is gonna be this front cover here. We're gonna have to remove that. That way we can drain the oil out of the car. It's gonna have a bunch of Torx bits going across the front, going across the back, and we're gonna drop that. The second cover we're gonna remove is gonna be this passenger side cover here. The fuel filter will be up above this cover. It's just got some like plastic little 10mm nuts kind of holding it on each side, and we're gonna drop that. So I'm gonna drop those two right quick, and then I'll show you what it looks like once they're removed. Alrighty guys, so we got our front cover off and we have our oil pan here. There is going to be our drain plug. You can go ahead and buy a replacement drain plug when you order it, or you can get just the washer if you want to. It's pretty cheap just to get the whole plug. And there's going to be your oil level sensor, I believe, for this car, because like I said, it does have a electronic sensor telling you how much oil is in it, blah, blah, blah. So that's where we're going to drain our oil from. Then we're going to come back, our second cover removed here. And this is going to show you the fuel filter, which lies right here. It's just a little inline fuel filter. It's not too bad to get out. We're gonna have to take this bracket, which is just some 10mm, drop it down. So I'm gonna go over here and show you guys what all we have to replace. So as you probably already know, I order most of my parts from Audi Parts. I am not sponsored by Audi Parts, but I love that you can just go on there and find kits like this one, which is a complete service kit. Comes with your oil filter, fuel filter. Like I said, depending on what you can get, like this one right here, actually come with the cabin filter. You can also get it to come with a new air filter, but we just did that recently, so it's not really due. Oil changes on this car, I'm not sure what Volkswagen rates it at, but I do every car at 5,000. I'm sure that they do it longer. A lot of cars do longer oil changes, but we do it every 5,000 miles. I also like using liquid moly, so that's the option. They have multiple oil options that'll work, OEM, Volkswagen oil, you know, just multiple different brands you can choose from. When you get these kits, I always go for liquid moly, and it comes with the exact amount that you need. So I'm a liquid moly guy. We have our oil filter here. Like I said, brand new. Like I said, I like using this brand or man filters. And then as you know, here's our fuel filter, brand new inline fuel filter that we're gonna throw in. And then also for this one, she opted for just the washer, which is just fine. I mean, the bolt doesn't have to be replaced. I think this is, like I said, to get the whole bolt is like $1 or $2, or you can get just this. And they also send a ID Parts oil change sticker if you wanna use that. So that's cool as well. So anyways, we're gonna go under the car and we're gonna swap out these filters, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. Alrighty guys, so we're gonna start with getting this oil drained. It's a 6mm Allen on this one. We're gonna go ahead and get that broke loose there. I'm gonna take my handy dandy little oil change special. This is not necessary, but I will say, if you happen to get on a Snap-on truck and see one of these, it's not a bad idea. It's got a magnet on the end with a little catch. Once you break loose a bolt, it magnetizes to it like so, and you can spin her off of there without making a mess all over your hands. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's quite impressive. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? I mean, I'm just saying, mechanics out there, when you see this, I mean, I know you're going to sit there, well, you're probably like, take my money now. I mean, if you're a mechanic. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, that was probably $1,000. It wasn't. It wasn't $1,000, but I can't remember how much it was, but it wasn't $1,000. It was well worth it, because I have not gotten oil on my hands, or even close to oil on my, I mean, look, I'm wearing gloves and they're still freshly cleaned. Not a mess. And I'm telling you, for those of you guys out there who don't like making a mess, like me, buy this or buy something like it. I mean, I'm sure they make it somewhere else. I just got the Snap-on one. I liked it. Like I said, it's also got a magnet on the rear, but it works great. If you can buy it somewhere else, I highly recommend getting you one of these, because it prevents the mess. For those of you who like making a mess, continue acting like a Neanderthal. That's on you. So now we're gonna let this oil drain. We're gonna move back to the fuel filter. Alrighty, so we're back here at the fuel filter. Remove these two little 10mm on this bracket. All right. Now it's gonna come down, and it's just got two little tabs that hook up into here, and it comes on down. We're gonna set that off to the side. Now we are here at our filter. So our new filter comes with this foam already on it. So we're just gonna kind of get this line out of that foam. And now all we need to do is take some pliers and move these clamps back, and then we're gonna pull it off. Now this filter it can only go in one way, and it should have it on the end. Let me go grab the other filter. So it'll have a out and an in. Your in needs to be pointing towards the tank because it's going to be coming in from the fuel tank and it's going to be going out towards the engine. So make sure you put that in right. Otherwise, it's just removing those clamps and popping those hoses loose, popping this back on there. Once my oil finishes draining, I'm gonna move my drain pan over to here. That way I can take these lines off and not make a mess. So we got our new fuel filter in, old one out. We'll go up here to our drain plug. We got our new oil plug, or O-ring, which is just like a crush washer, basically, installed. For this right here, as far as tightening goes, I believe the torque spec is 30 Newton meters, or if you're a mechanic, you just kind of, you know, the arm torque wrench. But if you're not a mechanic, I highly suggest that you torque all of these bolts, because if you're not doing it all the time, you don't want to over torque this and strip the threads out and ruin your entire week. So go ahead and torque this to 30 Newton meters. And like I said, for those of you guys who are mechanics, it's just like any other oil drain plug. So if you know, you know. So now I'm gonna get these covers put back on, and we're gonna go up top and finish up. Alrighty guys, so now we're back up top and we're gonna go ahead and get this oil filter changed out. So now that it's had some time to drain, we're gonna take that out. I like to put it inside the new box, that way it doesn't make a huge mess. Now we're gonna take just a pick. I'm gonna remove this O-ring, get that out of the way as well. Then we're gonna put our new O-ring on. And then what I like to do, I just take some of the oil that's already inside this cap to lubricate this O-ring. Now, this filter right here, as you can see, it has this little tab with the O-ring on it right here. You're gonna wanna insert that. You're gonna look down in that hole and you're gonna see where this goes in. You're gonna wanna make sure that you input that filter in to that spot. You do not wanna pop it into the cap first, because then while you're spinning it, it may not go down in there, it may break it. So make sure you put the filter in first and then put your cap in. That way you know that you got it down into that little slot, and you don't have to worry about breaking it. As you tighten this up, it will pop down into that cap just the way it's supposed to. So do not put that on the cap first. That is my advice for you today. So we're gonna go ahead and get this tightened up, tighten it down till it stops. And there we go. We got our oil filter swapped. So now the only thing we need to do is we need to fill it up with oil. So I'm gonna go grab the oil and we're gonna start filling it, and then we'll have to prime the fuel system from where we have that fuel filter off. So I'm gonna go grab that. Alrighty guys, so we got our oil here. It come with 2 1-quart jugs and then one of 5-quart jug. The Liquimilli, it's 5.28 US quarts, or it is a 5 liter. So this car calls for 6.8 quarts with your filter, which is going to take up most of this. So we're going to put the entire thing in here, and then we'll go ahead and put the entire one of these 1-quarters, and then we'll probably put that's going to be about 3/4 of the final quart. Should have it filled. So we're going to go ahead and fill that up here at our fill port, and then we're going to go inside the car, and I'm going to show you how I go about priming the fuel system and getting this thing back up and running. Alrighty guys, so we're inside the car with just the key on. We haven't started it yet. We're gonna go over to the car, and now we're gonna go to servicing and checks, service intervals. And we are going to reset our oil change. Say yes. All right. And now we are done with that side, And as you can see with this car, it says that you do your oil change every 10,000 miles. Not the way we do it, but I still reset it each time. Now, before you start it, when you do a fuel filter, you're gonna need to go and prime the fuel system. So you're gonna need to have a scan tool that can turn on the fuel pump, or VCDS, which is a scan tool as well. But if you don't have a scan tool at all, it's going to be tough to get your car back running, and you really don't want to, because you could cause damage to the fuel system. So you're going to want to get this fuel system primed properly. So we're using VCDS. If you don't have a scan tool and you have a Volkswagen, you have a TDI like this, I highly suggest you getting VCDS for yourself. You don't have to get the professional version to do multiple cars. You can get one just for your car, and I think one that does up to 10 cars. I suggest using it because it can come in handy with lots of things when it comes to working on your Volkswagen, and this included. So we're going to go to engine, and once that loads up, we're going to go to output test, and we're going to hit this little bar, and we're going to do fuel pump electronics, and then we're just going to hit start. And once you hit start, you should hear your fuel pump turn on and run for a certain amount of time. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to do this 5 to 7 times just to make sure that we get fuel pumped all the way through that filter and get it primed up really nicely. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it'll run a couple different times while running through this. Typically on other diesels like Fords and stuff, you can just turn the key on and it'll turn the fuel pump on for like a certain amount of time. You can do that 5 or 6 times to prime those. But on these Volkswagens, a lot of them don't run the fuel pump when you turn the key on, or if they do, they run it for a super short amount of time to where it definitely is not going to prime very easily. So that's why you really need to have a scan tool. So I'm going to run through and let this fuel pump run, like I said, 5 to 7 times, and get some fuel up there, and then we're going to try to start it up, and hopefully it'll stay running and won't shut off, and then we'll be done with this maintenance. Alrighty guys, so now that we got our fuel pump and fuel system hopefully primed up and got fuel everywhere, we're going to see if we can get her to start up and hopefully stay running. So here we go. Alrighty guys, so that's how you maintenance a Audi Q5 with the TDI in it. Like I said, this is the CPNB engine code 3.0 V6, 240 horsepower engine. So super simple to do the maintenance on as far as fuel filters and changing the oil. The only downside really is haven't had the scan tool to prime the fuel system, but that's just about every diesel nowadays to do it properly. Anyways, we got everything maintenance up on this particular car. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed seeing a pretty cool car, at least I thought so, in a TDI with the nice Audi. You don't see them all over the place. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this car, because like I said, it is my mom's, so it's definitely going to be around. I'm the only one that works on it. So if you want to see more of this car, have any questions about it, let me know, because like I said, I am intrigued to work on it a little bit more. This is a little bit different of a car and engine than what I'm used to as far as in the Jettas and stuff like that. So I'm also excited to work on it a little bit more. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.